The interference he was referring to had to do with the attention of people and not their physical presence. For Don Juan, it was meaningless to retreat from the world and hide, for even if one were alone in an isolated, deserted place, the interference of our fellow man is prevalent because the fixation of their first attention cannot be shut off. Only locally, at the hours when most people are asleep, can one avert part of that fixation for a short period of time. It is at those times that the first attention of those around us is dormant. This led to his description of the second attention. Don Juan explained to us that the attention one needs in the beginning of dreaming has to be forcibly made to stay on any given item in a dream. Only through immobilizing our attention can one turn an ordinary dream into dreaming. He explained, furthermore, that in dreaming one has to use the same mechanisms of attention as in everyday life, that our first attention had been taught to focus on the items of the world with great force in order to turn the amorphous and chaotic realm of perception into the orderly world of awareness. Don Juan also told us that the second attention served the function of a beckoner, a caller of chances. The more it is exercised, the greater the possibility of getting the desired result. But that was also the function of attention in general, a function so taken for granted in our daily life that it has become unnoticeable. If we encounter a fortuitous occurrence, we talk about it in terms of accident or coincidence rather than in terms of our attention having beckoned the event. Our discussion of the second attention prepared the ground for another key topic, the dreaming body. As a means of guiding LaGuardia to it, Don Juan gave her the task of immobilizing her second attention as steadily as she could on the components of the feeling of flying and dreaming. "How did you learn to fly in dreaming?" I asked her. "Did someone teach you?" "The Nagual Juan made us taught me on this earth," she replied. "And in dreaming, someone I could never see taught me. It was only a voice telling me what to do. The Nagual gave me the task of learning to fly in dreaming, and the voice taught me how to do it. Then it took me years to teach myself to shift from my regular body, the one you can touch, to my dreaming body." "You have to explain this to me, Gorda," I said. "You were learning to get to your dreaming body when you dreamed that you got out of your body," she continued. "But, the way I see it, the Nagual did not give you any specific task, so you went any old way you could. I, on the other hand, was given the task of using my dreaming body. The little sisters had the same task. In my case, I once had a dream where I flew like a kite. I told the Nagual about it because I had lacked the feeling of gliding. He took it very seriously and turned it into a task. He said that, as soon as one learns to do dreaming, any dream that one can remember is no longer a dream, it's dreaming. I began then to seek flying in dreaming. But I couldn't set it up. The more I tried to influence my dreaming, the more difficult it got. The Nagual finally told me to stop trying and let it come of its own accord. Little by little I started to fly in dreaming. That was when some voice began to tell me what to do. I've always felt it was a woman's voice. When I had learned to fly perfectly, the Nagual told me that every movement of flying which I did in dreaming I had to repeat while I was awake.